What is up, guys? You got Not the Worst here, bringing another Black Desert online video, and today we are taking another look at the Global Lab with the update that was just recently brought out, because since it has some pretty interesting stuff. I want to kind of get into it. There's some other changes other than what we're going to talk about right here is the seasons. You can see it says the first season server is open. First, let's kind of get into the information, and then I'll give my thoughts on this and how it may affect the future of Black Desert going from there. But first, let's kind of get a breakdown of what exactly that is. If you're familiar with seasons in other games such as like Diablo 3 or even Diablo 2, you have season characters that only exist within that server, can only be played with other season characters, and only for a certain amount of time before they roll over into classic characters. This will kind of break that down a little bit for us. So we have, here you go, season characters can only enter the season server. You can't use any of your current characters over them. You would create a new character. When you create one, you can create one that has access. When you create any character, you can create one so that has access to the season server through the season character creation, as you can see here. Seasonal characters will display a dedicated mark in the character selection window. They can be created by all adventurers, and season server has the same experience increase effect as Olvia server on the official server. However, unlike Olvia, there's no maximum level limit applied to that server. The season server equipment, Tuvala weapons, armor, and accessories have been added to it. We can see here at pen listings, these stats are the same as Tet of your standard boss gear, bags and whatnot for gloves there at pen. Same here. These look like Tet weapons. For the weaponry here, and then Tri accessories, I believe, yeah, because Ogre Tri's 25 here as well. So soft cap-ish gear for what these get. The equipment can be worn by seasonal characters, not regular characters. Tuvala weapon boxes and accessory chests can be obtained from monsters in Valencia, Kama Sylvia, and Drigan. The armor can be obtained by swapping the Tuvala ore from the monsters of Valencia, Kama Sylvia, and Drigan to the blacksmith. And the special black stones are needed to enhance the season's dedicated server equipment. You can see the little icon for that thing there. Seasonal server exclusive equipment, Tuvala equipment, has a higher chance of being strengthened compared to boss equipment. I don't exactly know what a plus 15 to pry on 0 stacks is, but they're pointing out that it's higher. You can see here to duo at 0 stacks is 8%. Again, I don't recall exactly what the baseline is, but they're just expressing that it is indeed higher base enhancement than your standard stuff. The weapons armor can easily be acquired through hunting. I believe they mean grinding for that when they say hunting, not the actual hunting profession, which is slightly confusing because there are some hunting updates as well coming up here. And that's why it's relatively easy compared to the main gear to restore the durability. Season servers operate at regular intervals. The end date will be announced through a separate notice, and when the season server is terminated, the season character will be converted to a normal character. Season-specific gear that has successfully enhanced on a season server will be converted to regular server gear at the end of the season, and when you switch to the normal server equipment, it'll be converted to the season character created state. I believe this means that it will convert to regular server gear, meaning, for instance, if you had pen gloves from this seasonal thing, when you at the end of the season, when it switches over to a regular character, it would become Tet bags, at least something like that. It's a little confusing since we are dealing with some Google Translate here, and then in addition to that, it's like, what if you wanted to run Libers? Is maybe there's another option for it or something like that? What if you wanted different stats? But then again, I don't actually know what these stats say. It could already be different, and I'm not entirely certain. Or it could be that maybe it converts over to normal gear, and there just straight up will be a new item in the normal service Tuvala gear that at pen level has Tet stats. I'm not really sure. So thoughts on this? This is really, really cool for newer players, especially just because you have a dedicated seasonal server to new players. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of re-rolled players, veteran players that know what they're doing too, but you get that new experience. The gear is much easier to obtain, so it gives you a really nice starting point with gear. It's soft cap-ish gear that then can roll over to the main servers. And then on the other side of that, not just for new players, but veteran players as well, like I'll definitely be playing this too quite a bit, just because it's not like you're not gaining anything in the main game. This stuff is still going to roll over to the main servers at the end of seasons, so it's something to kind of like break up the monotony a little bit of what you're always doing. Maybe try out a new class you never tried before, and you're just going to go ahead and give it a go, but you don't necessarily have to fully commit or fully re-roll. You also get that freshness of maybe just playing the game from scratch all over again, since it's going to be a brand new server and nothing carries over from your current server items and whatnot, so you actually kind of get that. Could be a decent content series where, you know, seasonal character journey, something like that. I'm sure a lot of content creators will jump into things like that, and then me personally, yeah, I would definitely be trying another class that I haven't played before. maybe Kuno or something like that, but who knows if and when this came to live servers. So I think it's a really great idea. I can't really see a downside to this whatsoever. It's just straight up positive across the board in my opinion. And I'm actually really excited for this to hit because it just adds one more neat thing into the game as a whole. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this. Is this something you'd be looking forward to? I fail to see a downside to this whatsoever. I think the only downside I can really hear people saying already in the comments is, why are they wasting their time on this when they haven't fixed problem XYZ, element OP, et cetera, like we hear all the time. Short of that argument, I don't really see any downside to this, but let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm missing something here. This looks like a net positive across the board. Aside from that, we've got new hunting quests that are added. You can see there's some in Furia Port Village there. Odalita new hunting quests. Obviously, we're going to continue to see new things introduced into Odalita. There's improved movement while wearing hunting handguns. There's a new gun that was also added. We've got Green Stag, Even Wolf, and even Lions there. There's new items that can be obtained by defeating hunting monsters in Odalita Nation area. You can see this Nation's Breath has been added. Where that is, here's the new gun, sword gun that they mentioned earlier is what it's called there. Obviously new items to go alongside with that. The furniture by defeating the hunting monsters. You kind of get it. New hunting stuff was added. And yeah, it goes hand in hand. We've got a couple of changes to some classes. Notably here, Tamer had removed knockback effect on successful hits on a set number of skills. And then the Guardian had some interesting things here, but I can't exactly glean what all they're saying. For instance, they just say press C key while using attack technology. I don't know what we're trying to say here, but there's a lot of things where issue fixes down below, but then strong shift right click after using Black Blood Slaughter. It's like a statement. So I think we're having some translation issues. Dark Knight, I know there's a lot of people talking about this right now. The floating effect from slanted balances CC, rather, it's calling it floating balance. The slanted balance CC effect is now only being applied at close range. Previously, we had it's a very ranged skill from far back, so we had fairly ranged protection CC with slanted balance in succession. Outside of succession and awakening and pre-awakening, it's not nearly as far. That is kind of a go-to CC effect, so I know people are fairly unhappy with that, but then again, giving out ranged protected CC is kind of a thing they try and avoid, and the range was pretty ridiculous. It's still a little bit further from what I've seen than your standard slanted balance, the CC range, but not as much, and the overall skill effect, or damage, I should say, the overall skill damage range is the same. It's just where the CC takes place. You do need to be a little close range, so we'll kind of see how that plays out as it's brought into live servers. So monster updates, the Abandoned Monastery, which we haven't seen just yet on NAEU servers, now have a chance to create a Dawn of Death, and if there are more 5 Dawns initiates in the Abandoned Monastery, the initiation is embodied and the ghost of Belmorn appears. When you kill Belmorn's Wraith, you can earn up to 4 highest contributions. The Dawn of the created Dawn does not disappear naturally over time, and while the Mormons of Belmorn are present, Dawn of Dawn will no longer spawn. When you die to Ghost of Belmorn, death penalty applies, so be careful. Not sure exactly if he has like a specific loot table or a higher chance to drop cool stuff, or does he drop a bunch of trash? Not really sure there, but we'll see as this continues to progress. And that's it. Not a whole bunch of different stuff, but some really, really nice updates as far as individual content. Hunting updates are not necessarily a surprise, since the Odalita zone does bring in a whole bunch of new hunting areas by itself. We're of course going to see that tweaked over time, but this seasonal server thing I think is just a really, really cool idea. Really excited to see that, and again, I'd like to hear anything in the Global Lab you guys want to talk about. Just drop down some comments down below there if you are interested in taking part in that conversation. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to it so that you get notifications when new videos do go live. Be sure to like this video as well, and if you want to catch me playing live, there is a link to my Twitch page down in the description below. You can jump on over there and drop a follow so you'll get notifications whenever we do go live for that one. I do have a new video talking about gear progression coming out a little bit later this week, and then we'll be doing some enhancing live streams this weekend, so make sure you catch that Twitch notification if you want to get in on that. Saturday and Sunday both, I think, are both going to be an enhancement day, but don't quote me on that. It might just be one or the other as it stands now. Anyways, with that said, that is going to be it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I will see you next time.